Welcome back to Meet the Falcons. I'm your host, Jeremy Crawford. Today we have acrobatics and tumbling head coach Sarah Koenig. Coach, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. The sun's finally out, so getting some of that warm weather. So it's definitely made it a little bit of a brighter mood in here.
Let's start off talking about your season. You had a very young team this year, and they just continued to grow and build throughout the year. Can you talk a little bit about this season?
This season, definitely, like you said, we had a little bit of a younger team. We had a lot of really good talent coming in with our freshman class. So it was really exciting to see them not only kind of start out their first meet with learning the sport, learning kind of how everything runs and things like that, but then watching them continue to grow throughout the season and kind of as they started to figure everything out, being able to build on those skills that we competed at our first meet.
You kind of lucked out having no seniors on the team this year, so it wasn't like any careers abruptly came to an end. But what was it like, especially with the whole East Texas Baptist meet, where A, you didn't know if you were going to get it off, and then B, you find out the day of that would be the last acrobatics and tumbling meet of the year across the board?
Yeah, so like you said, definitely lucked out with not having any seniors graduating. Obviously, our hearts go out to all of the graduating seniors from all across the nation because that is just such a heartbreaking experience to have to go through, especially for your senior year. But finding out, I think the day of the meet, it was kind of hectic. So it was one of those, we weren't sure about spring break already. We were already talking about potentially making some changes there. We had actually canceled that meet previously that very day too. So we knew that that one wasn't going to run, but kind of looking forward what was going to happen for the rest of the season as things started to kind of shut down. But finding out the day of for the team especially was a little bit rough before walking right into that meet, but I was really proud about the way that they kind of picked themselves up, finished out strong, finished the way we wanted to. That was something we really talked about before taking the mat. And then to just kind of have it be over, I think it was kind of a little bit of a shock as it was for most people, just knowing that, that was the last thing we were ever going to be doing. And, we had planned for so much more, but it was what it was. I was proud about how they ended.
So what have you been doing throughout this quarantine? I know that you've been busy recruiting and such during the day, but what have you been up to in these last few months now that the acrobatics and tumbling season was cut short?
Definitely making sure that I'm sticking to a schedule of some sort. The first couple days were a little murky, so I can even say the first couple weeks, but kind of making sure that I'm staying active, taking time to get outside when I can, spending time with my dog, staying connected with the team, and definitely incoming recruits as we kind of start to shift forward to what the fall might look like, and just making sure that we're staying on top of things as best we can so we're prepared for all the situations that might come up.
Talked about your dog there a little bit. During the winter, we had the gift shooting session, and your dog made an appearance in that. Can you talk a little bit about that whole situation there?
Yes. So I had run over to the school to kind of oversee the gift situation that you were talking about. And I had brought my dog Luna with me because we were out and about doing some stuff. And one of my athletes asked about Luna, and I was talking to her, and I said, "Oh yeah, she's actually in the car." And so they asked to see her, so I was able to bring her in. And thanks to you for working with her because she had a great time in front of the camera. So it was a lot of fun to get her involved and kind of just add something a little special for the team that day.
So how do you feel about the team moving forward? Like we said, it was a very young team. You really liked what they brought into coming this year. How do you feel they will be possibly next year, having a little, like they don't have a full year under their belt with it getting cut short, but now that they kind of know what's going on and they know what meet day is like?
I think they're definitely going to come up with more of a drive to kind of continue what they started last season and definitely finish out stronger this next season. Just like you said, knowing a little bit about kind of how competition runs and what it takes to compete. And some of the teams that we go against, they're not, they're really good, close competition. So we're really looking forward to kind of teaching our next incoming class about what it means and kind of how our program is run. And I'm looking forward to building on the foundation that they set this year.
So you touched on this a little bit earlier. It's starting to get warm out. We opened up the pool this last weekend over here. What have you been doing to stay active here in these last few weeks?
So I definitely have a set of dumbbells at home that I've been using. So making sure that I'm continuing to lift as best I can, lots of HIIT workouts or body weight workouts. And then aside from taking Luna out, trying to make sure that I'm doing some sort of extra cardio, whether that be running or biking, but really just making sure that I'm keeping my body moving because it's really easy to just sit all day.
Have you picked up any hobbies throughout this quarantine?
I don't think any new hobbies. I've kind of touched on a bunch of different things across the board to keep myself busy. I did some painting. I've done a lot of baking. That's something that I really enjoy doing. So that's something that's been fun to have a little bit more time to do. But with the baking, again, need to make sure I'm staying active because I'm eating all those extra sweets and things like that now.
What have you been baking?
I mean, anything from cakes, cookies, we did cinnamon rolls. So a bunch of different things all over the board.
All the healthy options being
Yeah,
checked off
definitely.
there. Um, so you talked about your baking and whatnot. Do you have any big summer plans?
Not since this whole kind of situation came up. There were a couple weddings that are coming closer to the end of summer, so haven't bought a ticket for that yet. Kind of waiting to see what the current situation is at that point. Otherwise, I'm just going to make sure that I'm getting out, enjoying some time outside. Like I said, hopefully be able to go either paddle boarding or canoeing or something like that sometime soon. Also, and take advantage of some of the water that we have around us.
So you touched on baking. Some coaches have said they've been kind of experimenting in the kitchen throughout this. Have you tried anything new in cooking or baking in this quarantine session?
Anything new? We doing a lot of grilling recently. Do a whole bunch of grilling on my own, so it's been kind of fun to try different things there. Last night we did some like Hawaiian chicken that we marinated all day and then did. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of experiment with different things again that I have more time to kind of put into.
So during my quarantine, I've started a puzzle to say where I'm at life right now. It's a puzzle featuring Michigan State versus the University of Oregon, which you
Okay.
went to. What was it like for you to transition from a big campus like the University of Oregon to CUW, which is a smaller fit?
It was definitely an interesting transition. I would say that I loved my time at the University of Oregon, but one of the things that really kind of I fell in love with coming to Concordia was a little bit of that smaller atmosphere, being able to kind of not just be a face around campus that you might see every now and again, but really people taking an interest in getting to know you, really supporting you. We have such a great support system throughout the whole campus and the community in general. That's something that I really appreciated coming was that we us as a sport especially was seen more at the equal level of our football or our basketball teams as opposed to the University of Oregon where they're very focused on you know or football and things like that because those are such a big draw for the community and stuff like that. So definitely two different experiences, but I wouldn't say that there was a huge transition as far as getting to know the team and stuff like that because they're all really great people.
So it's been since March since we've all been on campus. What is the thing you miss most about being on campus?
Besides just seeing everybody and not being, seeing the same people all the time, I would definitely say the bluff. So I miss being able to just, see that view driving in, whether I get the chance to stop or walk it or not that day. Just having that view has been absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you for joining us, Coach, today. Hopefully, we'll be back on campus shortly and you can run the bluff as many times as you want.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.